Hello everyone, my name is Devansh and this is my final project presentation for IE590 on Hoshin Kanri policy deployment. For this project, I chose an industry that is very close to me, seed processing industry, and I created a fictitious company called Farfield Agritech, a seed processing machine manufacturer. In this presentation, I'll walk through how Hoshin Kanri is used to deploy strategy across the organization. Before moving into the policy deployment work, here is a brief overview of the company designed for this project, Farfield Agritech. So this industry is personally meaningful to me because my grandfather ran a seed processing business and I saw how heavily he depended on expensive machines imported from abroad. That experience inspired the concept behind Farfield Agritech, a future vision of a company capable of manufacturing world-class seed processing machinery locally. Farfield Agritech operates in the post-harvest equipment segment, producing machines that clean, grade, dry, sort, and package seeds for large-scale agriculture operations. So the product portfolio spans the entire processing line, including pre-cleaner, seed graders, gravity separators, color optical sorters, seed dryers, and packaging systems. The company serves seed processing plants, grain elevators, large farming cooperatives, food processors, export cleaning facilities, and grain traders requiring high purity certification. So, although Farfield is fictional for this assignment, it is grounded in real industry needs and aligned with a long term vision shaped by personal experience. For the Farfield Agritech, this slide outlines the strategic foundation for the company. It shows what's the mission of the company, the vision, ambition, and the key success drivers that guide the company's direction. So, moving ahead with the company's organization structure, it will have at the top the president and the CEO who sets the long term vision and alignment across the company. Reporting to the CEO are six executive roles. The COO oversees manufacturing, plant operations, and supply chain. The CTO leads R&D, automation, and technology innovation engineering. The CFO ensures financial discipline and profitability. The CCO drives sales, marketing, and customer satisfaction. The director of QHSE leads quality, safety, and environmental performance, which is central to this host and deployment. And the VP of HR supports talent development and culture. Together, this structure ensures clear ownership, cross functional alignment, and accountability for executing strategy. Now that the organizational structure is clear, the next step in Hoshin Kanri is defining how success is measured at the top of the organization. This slide showcases the CEO level KPIs for the company. These metrics reflect overall business health and directly align with the company's mission, vision, and strategic ambitions. At the financial level, revenue growth and EBITDA margin measures the company's ability to grow profitably. Market share tracks the Farfield's position in the global seed processing machinery market, which is critical for establishing industry leadership. From an operational perspective, on time delivery ensures the customer commitments are met consistently, while cost of poor quality captures the financial impact of scrap, rework, warranty, and field failures. From the customer satisfaction, the CSI in the customer satisfaction index provides a direct voice of the customer measure. Finally, safety, R&D investment, and supplier on-time delivery ensures the company grows responsibly, protecting employees, investing in innovation, and maintaining a reliable supply base. Together, these KPIs form the foundation for policy deployment at the CEO level. They define what leadership cares about most and set clear targets that cascade into strategic priorities, action plans, and daily execution. Once the CEO level KPIs are defined, the next Hoshin step is understanding where the company stands relative to the best in class competitors. This benchmarking analysis compares Farfield Agritech's current performance against industry leaders such as Buhler, Cimbria, Oliver Manufacturing, Petcus, and others across several critical dimensions, including on-time delivery, cost of poor quality, market share, supplier performance, and R&D investment. There is a clear performance gap between Farfield and the industry leaders. For example, best-in-class companies consistently operate with OTD above 96%, COPQ below 2%, stronger supplier reliability, and significantly higher investment in technology and automation. These capabilities translate directly into faster growth, higher margins, and stronger customer loyalty. So importantly, these gaps are not weaknesses. They represent strategic opportunities for the company. So HK is specifically designed to address gaps like this by aligning leadership priorities, breakthrough objectives, and execution at every level of the organization. The remainder of this presentation will show how Farfield Agritech's Hoshin strategy directly targets these gaps and systematically drives the company towards best in class performance. The next is to take an honest internal snapshot of performance of the company, what is going well and what is not. So starting with what's working well, Farfield Agritech has a strong product technology foundation and a diversified machinery portfolio that covers the full seed processing value chain. Financially, the company has a stable base with a healthy EBITDA margin that provides the capacity to invest in improvement. Customer satisfaction is solid with the CSI of 83, and there is a clear progress in building a stronger safety culture. In addition, the global manufacturing footprint positions the company well for future scale. At the same time, there are several critical challenges that must be addressed. On time delivery is significantly below the best in class levels. Compared to 96% plus, we have 82%. Cost of poor quality remains high at 5%. Then the time to market for new product is slower than competitors. Supplier reliability is weak with supplier OTT at 78%, and market share growth is lagging behind industry leaders. R&D investment is also lower than best in class, limiting innovation speed. This contrast is important. Farfield is not a struggling company, but it is also not yet performing at its full potential. Moving forward, this slide shows Farfield Agritech's matrix-based quality organization, where quality is both centrally governed and functionally embedded. At the enterprise level, the director of QHSE provides overall governance and alignment with the CEO, ensuring that quality objectives remain tied to business strategy, safety, and sustainability. From there, quality is deployed through a matrix structure. Each major functions like manufacturing, supply chain, plant operation, etc. has a dedicated quality leader embedded directly within that department. These embedded quality leaders have a dual responsibility. Functionally, they work day to day with operations, engineering, and supply chain teams to prevent defects, improve capability, and support execution. At the same time, they are aligned through the central quality organization to ensure standardization, common metrics, and consistent problem solving. Site quality managers and supplier quality engineers then drive execution at the plant and supplier level, while the compliance team ensures regulatory and customer requirements are met across the enterprise. Now, talking about the quality strategy of company, at the top of is at the top there is the quality vision. So the vision statement is where quality is the only standard. This reflects a deliberate choice. For Farfield, quality is not a differentiator or a metric. It is the baseline expectation. Every machine must consistently deliver seed purity, reliability, safety, and long-term performance, regardless of market or application. Supporting that is the quality mission, which focuses on embedding quality across the entire value chain. The goal is to prevent defects at the source, maintain global consistency, and build customer trust through performance rather than inspection. Below that are the 5 key quality pillars that operationalize this vision. First, build quality at the source. With a zero defect in mind, quality leaders are embedded within each function, and tools like SPC, FMEA, and robust design are used to prevent defects rather than detect them. Second, global standardization of the quality management system. Processes, audits, documentation, and compliance are harmonized across all plants to ensure consistency and scalability. Third is the supplier quality excellence, which is strengthened through APQP, PPAP, and performance-based partnerships. Fourth one is the customer-centric quality feedback loop. Field data and customer feedback are systematically fed back into engineering and manufacturing to eliminate the root causes and reduce warranty costs. Finally, enabling innovation through quality. So it is integrated early into R&D through DFQ and reliability engineering, allowing faster time to market without compromising performance. Together, these pillars translate the quality vision into executable strategy and directly feed into the objective and priorities defined in the X matrix. With the quality strategy defined, the next step is translating it into a measurable performance. This slide shows the key quality KPIs used to monitor performance across manufacturing, suppliers, and the field. Process metrics like scrap, FPY, PPM, and CPK reflect internal stability, while audit compliance and corrective action timeliness ensures governance and discipline. Supplier KPIs control incoming quality, and customer facing metrics like warranty, returns, and downtime show real world impact. While 14 KPIs provide full visibility, Hoshin Kanri focuses on the critical few. In the next slide, these KPIs are benchmarked against best in class to identify priority improvement areas. Here is the table shown on the slide benchmarks Farfield's quality performance against best in class competitors across nearly every metric: scrap, FEY, PPM, COPQ, and downtime. There is a clear gap driven by process instability, supplier variation, and weak corrective action closure. These gaps highlight exactly where focused quality interventions are required to move towards the best in class performance. Going ahead, the quality performance snapshot is shown here. So it summarizes the positive side of the company and the negative side, like as in how what challenges company is facing in terms of the quality. So Farfield has a strong central quality framework, improving safety performance and early success with embedded quality leaders across functions. Customer feedback loops and supplier quality focuses are also in place. However, if I talk about what is not going well from the quality perspective, some key challenges remains. Some key challenges are high scrap and rework, low FPY, elevated warranty and downtime, weak supplier quality, and slow corrective action closure. These gaps clearly indicate where focused quality action is required. Now that the gaps and the challenges are clear, this slide shows how Farfield translates strategy into execution using Hoshin Kanri. So for Hoshin Kanri, we need to develop the X matrix, which is something defines connects your objectives to action plans and how what are the targets you want to achieve. So here is the CEO level X matrix. The most important principle is to highlight here is the focus. Instead of chasing the trivial many initiatives, leadership deliberately concentrate on the significant few that will move the business towards best in class performance. Now I'll walk through the X matrix. We'll move from clockwise, starting from the bottom. At the south box of the matrix are the 5-year breakthrough objectives. This represent where the Farfield must be in the long term, and they are intentionally benchmarked against best in class industry targets. Out of 9 CEO level KPIs, 5 which are significantly important are selected, and they are benchmarked, as I said, benchmarked against best in class. They are not selected based on the internal comfort levels. So this include increasing revenue from 300 million US dollars to 500 million, improving EBITDA margin from 16 to 25 percentage, growing global market share from 18 to 30 percentage, improving on-time delivery to 98 percentage, and reducing cost of poor quality from 5 to below 2 percentage of sales. These are bold outcome based goals that define success 5 years out. Moving to the west side of the matrix are the annual policy breakthrough objectives. These represent what the CEO has selected as the critical moves for the current year that directly support the long-term breakthroughs. Rather than trying to improve everything, the focus is again narrowed to specific annual improvements. So these annual targets act as a stepping stones forward the 5-year vision. At the north of the matrix are the top level strategic priorities. These are the major initiatives leadership believes will actually deliver the annual objectives. Example include implementing the lean transformation across plants, launching global OTD improvement processes, strengthening supplier excellence, accelerating new product development, developing a global quality improvement program to reduce COPQ, and investing in digital operations. This is where strategy becomes actionable, fewer initiatives, but each with clear purpose. On the east side of the matrix are the measurable targets. These translate strategy into numbers that can be reviewed monthly or quarterly. Targets such as revenue growth percentages, EBITDA improvement ranges, market share growth, OTD improvement, COPQ reduction, and supplier OTD improvements ensure that progress is objectively tracked and not based on perception. Finally, in the far east column, accountability is made explicit. Each objective and initiative has named owners with clear distinction between primary responsibility and secondary responsibility. This ensures that ownership is not diluted. Every breakthrough has a leader accountable for results, while cross functional support is clearly defined. Overall, this X matrix demonstrates how Farfield applies Hoshin Kanri to align long term vision, annual priorities, strategic initiatives, metrics, and people into one coherent system, ensuring that the leadership energy is spent on the vital few actions that drive breakthrough performance rather than being spread across the trivial many. To illustrate the interconnectedness of various aspects of the X matrix, let's take revenue as an example. Our long term goal is to increase revenue to 500 million US dollar. To achieve this, we have broken it down into annual goals, aiming for a 10% improvement each year. To support this objective, we have identified two top level activities that needs to be carried out: implementing a new product development acceleration program and implementing a sales marketing initiative. These actions are directly linked to the revenue growth and the market shares improvement targets in the east boxes, and in the far east boxes as well. We see the black dot owners who are primarily responsible for these areas, and the white dot owners who are secondary responsible. Now that we have seen the CEO level X matrix, this slide shows how the strategy is deployed to the second level, the quality function. This transition is one of the most important ideas in Hoshin Kanri. What you will notice first is that the west box of the CEO X matrix becomes the south box of the level 2 X matrix. In other words, the annual policy breakthrough objectives defined by the CEO are now taken as given inputs for the quality organization. From those CEO level objectives, quality has intentionally selected only the quality relevant breakthroughs, again applying the principle of focusing on the vital few, not the trivial many. At the south of this matrix are the quality annual breakthrough objectives. This includes improving on-time delivery from 82% to 90%, reducing COPQ from 5 to 4%, improving FUI from 89 to 94, reducing scrap rate from 4.8 to 3.5, and improving supplier quality PPM from 1800 to 1000. These objectives are directly inherited from the CEO level and translated into the outcomes that quality can materially influence. Moving to the west, which is the north box of the CEO level, but some of them replaced with the quality related strategic plans. For example, strengthening supplier QMS, deploying process capability, etc. Now moving to the north of the matrix that shows the second level strategic priorities, the specific quality initiatives that will deliver those breakthroughs. Rather than generic quality activities, these are very targeted actions such as stabilizing CPK and SPCs on critical processes, implementing error proofing for recurring defects, standardizing control plans and work instructions, strengthening incoming inspection for high risk suppliers, conducting monthly QIB reviews, and deploying real time quality dashboards. On the east side, the measurable targets make improvement concrete and reviewable. These targets define what success looks like by the end of the year. For example, FEY reaching 94%, scrap reduced to 3.5%, and supplier quality PPM reduced to 1000, and so on. Finally, on the far east, ownership is clearly assigned. Each initiative has a primary owner, such as the chief of quality, site quality manager, supplier quality engineers, with secondary support identified with the white dot owners, where the cross-functional coordination is required. This ensures accountability is explicit and execution does not stall between functions. Overall, this level 2 X matrix demonstrates how Farfield ensures vertical alignment. CEO intent is translated into quality specific objectives, strategies, metrics, and ownership without the dilution or loss of the focus. This is how Hoshin Kanri turns strategy into disciplined day-to-day execution. Moving ahead to the polar chart for the CEO level. So Using a bowler chart, the CEO level objectives are being tracked and reviewed in execution. So this chart showing mid-year performance through June against the key enterprise KPIs. I'll start with the jump off point. As we all know that jump off point represents the last year's achieved performance versus the prior year's target. So those values, if we have met, then it will be green, and then if we haven't met, then it will be red. So keeping the what's going well and what's not going good for the company, the key KPIs are here shown. And moving across the chart, each KPI shows monthly actual versus plan for January through June. So at a high level, several important insights emerges as revenue is slightly volatile month to month, but overall tracking ahead of plan YTD indicates healthy demand. EBITDA margin shows steady improvement but remains below the December target, signaling that the cost and efficiency improvements still need acceleration. Market share is growing gradually, but not yet at the pace required to reach best in class levels. On time delivery remains a concern, with performance fluctuating below the 90% target, reinforcing the need of the global OTD improvement initiative. Cost of poor quality, while improving, is still above the 4% year end target, directly validating why COPQ reduction is a CEO level breakthrough objective. Supplier OTD is consistently underperforming, which cascades into production instability and customer delivery risk. The purpose of this bowler chart is not to judge performance, it's to focus leadership attention on gaps early while there is still time in the year to course correct. This red signals directly inform the second level quality operation action plans, which I'll walk through next. Another bowler chart for the quality department. Again, it's reviewed at the mid year through Jan. So while the CEO chart highlighted what's off track, this quality bowler chart explains why those gaps exist and where quality is focusing its improvement efforts. Starting at the top, field machine downtime remains above target at 22 hours YDD versus 20-hour goal. This aligns with the warranty and reliability issues seen earlier and confirms the need for stronger decision and process robustness. Supplier quality PPM shows a clear improving trend from 1800 down to 1400 ppm, but it is still above the 1000 year end target. This reinforces why supplier quality is a major focus in the level 2x metrics. First pass yield is improving but remains below the 95% target. Corrective action timeliness has improved with the monthly basis, but it's still inconsistent, indicating that root causes are being identified but not always eliminated fast enough. Cost of poor quality is also trending downward for 5% toward 4.6%, but still above the target 4%. Manufacturing scrap shows encouraging improvement in the last 2 months, dropping below 4%, but remains above the aggressive 3.5% year end goal. This quality bowler chart serves as the control panel for the level 2 quality X metrics. After reviewing the mid-year quality bowler chart, multiple KPIs were off target. Applying the Hoshin principle of focusing on the vital few, scrap rate and COPQ clearly emerged as the highest leverage priorities. Pareto and root cause analysis showed that a small number of recurring defects were driving most of those losses. Scrap was not isolated, it was directly impacting FPY, warranty, field reliability, and overall COPQ. Addressing scrap at the source enables cascading improvement across multiple quality KPIs, while COPQ captures the total business impact of poor quality. Therefore, these two KPIs were selected for the structural quality-led action planning. So, as you can see on the slide, I have shown the action plan for the scrap rate reduction. At the top, the improvement priority is defined as to reduce the scrap by strengthening process capability, error proofing, and standardizing discipline. The priority background ties directly back to the quality bowler chart. Scrap has been trending between 4.6 and 4%, consistently above plan. Root cause analysis identified three dominant drivers: low CPK on critical processes, weak or missing error proofing, and outdated work instructions with inconsistent operator training. The core objective is explicit and measurable. As you can see, it is to reduce scrap from 4.8% to 3.5% by December, which represents a 1.3 total reduction for the year. The table below shows the actual execution plan. The first two actions are foundational training activities, operator training, and the SPC basics. These are intentionally shown with the zero impact, immediate impact for the scrapped impact, because their role is to build capability and prevent regression, not to deliver instant results. The following actions, such as CPK studies, control path standardization, error proofing for the top defect modes, and supplier inspection tightening, are where measurable scrap reduction is achieved. Each action has a clear owner, plant timing, status, and quantified impact, reinforcing accountability. Overall, this action plan demonstrates how Ocean Kanri moves from strategy to execution. Following the scrap reduction plan, the second focused action plan targets cost of poor quality, or COPQ. COPQ was selected because it is the financial translation of quality performance. It captures the combined impact of scrap, rework, warranty, and field failures. Root cause analysis showed that the COPQ at 5% is driven by four systematic issues: high scrap on key processes, low FPY driving rework, slow corrective action closure, and supplier incoming variations. These factors compound cost rather than acting independently. The objective is to reduce the COPQ from 4% to 5% to 4% by December 2024. Since this is a mid-year review, the near-term focus through June and July is achieving approximately half of the reduction, or 0.5%. The action plan addresses COPQ at multiple leverage points: cost visibility, FPY improvement, elimination of repeat defects, supplier stabilization, and stronger verification of corrective actions. Ownership is shared across the quality operations, supplier quality, reinforcing that COPQ is a cross-functional responsibility. As of the July review, most action planned through June are completed on target, and early improvements are already visible in FPY and rework trends. Alright, to conclude this project, it was developed by using the Hoshin Kanri policy development framework with the overall structure and approach based largely on Professor Semsar's lecture notes and the course material from this class. This lecture provided the foundation for the X matrix, Bowler charts, breakthrough objectives, and the clear linkage between strategy metrics and action plans. This presentation brings those concepts together in a realistic manufacturing setting, showing how Hoshin Kanri can be used to translate strategy into focused, measurable execution across an organization. Thank you so much for your time and attention.